when the President and Congress work together for this effort in order to show the world that Americans are united in confronting this danger. Now, it will take time to eradicate a cancer like ISIL. And any time we take military action, there are risks involved, especially to the servicemen and women who carry out these missions. And I want the American people to understand how this effort will be different from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. It will not involve American combat troops fighting on foreign soil. This counterterrorism campaign will be waged through a steady, relentless effort to take out ISIL wherever they exist using our air power and our support for partners' forces on the ground. This strategy of taking out terrorists who threaten us while supporting partners on the front lines is one that we have successfully pursued in Yemen and Somalia for years, and it is consistent with the approach I outlined earlier this year, to use force against anyone who threatens America's core interests, but to mobilize partners wherever possible to address broader challenges to international order. My fellow Americans, we live in a time of great change. Tomorrow marks 13 years since our country was attacked. Next week marks 6 years since our economy suffered its worst setback since the Great Depression. Yet, despite these shocks, through the pain we felt and the grueling work required to bounce back, America is better positioned today to seize the future than any other nation on earth. Our technology companies and universities are unmatched. Our manufacturing and auto industries are thriving. Energy independence is closer than it's been in decades. For all the work that remains, our businesses are in the longest uninterrupted stretch of job creation in our history. Despite all the divisions and discord within our democracy, I see the grit and determination and common goodness of the American people every single day. And that makes me more confident than ever about our country's future. A broad American leadership is the one constant in an uncertain world. It is America that has the capacity and the will to mobilize the world against terrorists. It is America that has rallied the world against Russian aggression and in support of the Ukrainian people's right to determine their own destiny. It is America, our scientists, our doctors, our know-how that can help contain and cure the outbreak of Ebola. It is America that helped remove and destroy Syria's declared chemical weapons so that they can't pose a threat to the Syrian people or the world again. And it is America that is helping Muslim communities around the world, not just in the fight against terrorism, but in the fight for opportunity and tolerance and a more hopeful future. America, our endless blessings bestow an enduring burden. But as Americans, we welcome our responsibility to lead. We stand for freedom, for justice, for dignity. These are values that have guided our nation since its founding. Tonight, I ask for your support in carrying that leadership forward. I do so as a Commander-in-Chief who could not be prouder of our men and women in uniform. Pilots who bravely fly in the face of danger above the Middle East, and service members who support our partners on the ground. When we helped prevent the massacre of civilians trapped on a distant mountain, here's what one of them said. We owe our American friends our lives. Our children will always remember that there was someone who felt our struggle and made a long journey to protect innocent people. That is the difference we make in the world. And our own safety, our own security, depends upon our willingness to do what it takes to defend this nation and uphold the values that we stand for. Timeless ideas that will endure long after those who offer only hate and destruction have been vanquished from the earth. May God bless our troops, and may God bless the United States of America.
So the President of the United States lays out a strategy to defeat and destroy ISIS, or as they're sometimes called, ISIL. And this speech tonight shows us a real evolution in where the president was just in the last week of August when he said, we can't put the cart before the horse. We don't have a strategy yet. Tonight, I think the key words that he spoke were, if you threaten America, you will find no safe haven. He went on to say he's going to expand and intensify the air war. He will go after the terrorists wherever they are, including Syria. Now this represents a major change in American strategy. I think he also said he's going to send about 400 more American troops there to aid in support roles that will bring the population of the American military there to about 1,500.
You've been watching a special CBS report. We'll have continuing coverage of President Obama's strategy to deal with ISIS ahead on the CBS Evening News beginning at 6:30.
The war against ISIS is widening. President Obama addressed the nation tonight to explain his plan for destroying the Sunni terror group that beheaded 2 American journalists. Airstrikes already underway against ISIS targets in Iraq will now be expanded to include targets in Syria. The president said the terrorists will find no safe haven. The address comes on the eve of the 13th anniversary of the most deadly terror attack ever on U.S. soil, 9/11. Scott is in Iraq tonight, but we'll begin with Major Garrett at the White House. Major.
Well, President Obama said that ISIS, also known as ISIL, is a dangerous threat that must be confronted, but he promised not to send U.S. combat forces into the fight. The president described an international coalition the United States will lead. Its mission, first degrade, then destroy the terror group.
Working with the Iraqi government, we will expand our efforts beyond protecting our own people and humanitarian missions so that we're hitting ISIL targets as Iraqi forces go on offense. Moreover, I've made it clear that we will hunt down terrorists who threaten our country wherever they are. That means I will not hesitate to take action against ISIL in Syria as well as Iraq.
The president called for more airstrikes to help Iraqi and Kurdish forces retake territory in northern Iraq. There have been 154 strikes so far. The daily frequency could double or triple. The air war will expand to Syria, but not until there is better intelligence on ISIS targets there. The administration will launch a more aggressive effort to train and equip moderate rebel forces fighting ISIS inside Syria. And the U.S. will send an additional 475 troops to Iraq, bringing the total to more than 1,600.
This strategy of taking out terrorists who threaten us while supporting partners on the front lines is one that we have successfully pursued in Yemen and Somalia for years, and it is consistent with the approach I outlined earlier this year, to use force against anyone who threatens America's core interests, but to mobilize partners wherever possible to address broader challenges to international order.
The president said he did not need Congress to approve this new strategy, but he asked for the funds and the legal authority to train rebels fighting ISIS in Syria. Left unanswered, Bob, how long this will take and how much it will cost.
Major Garrett at the White House. Thank you.